Still.
Yes. Did you try out? Did you encounter any challenges?
I got something that had issues with I will share shortly.
So you tried out and you had issues. Okay. What about another person? Did we try out and
Morning, Joseph.
morning to you?
GeoPandas failed to install. I tried always, but it couldn't install.
GeoPandas. Did you try to work out with the people I told you to consult?
Yes. But we tried to install with the admin, but still I don't know what's the challenge with Pandas.
I think for your case, you have to check your Windows installation. You will have challenges with Windows.
It's better.
Okay. What about Mr. Katopo? Mr. Katopo, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Morning.
Morning to you.
Well, I tried later, but I didn't finish the whole process.
What did you try?
It was on my laptop, but right now I'm using a phone. And I left it at NMC, but that's where I'm going.
Yeah. Mike, did you try out anything? Mr. Mike?
I didn't try.
Pardon?
I did not try anything.
Yeah. Mr. Dale? Mr. Dale? What about Israel? Israel? Israel, are you there? So colleagues, since this is the last week of the month, before we do anything, I would like to hear from you how so far things are going and how do you wish us to proceed? Are you okay with my kind of arrangement? Because from my point of view, by now we would be going into the practical work. But I cannot be giving out work and nobody does. It means something else. So I'd like to hear from you how so far is the work from your perspective? How would you advise us to proceed? Do we need to repeat some classes done behind? Are you making use of the recorded videos? Such things. Have you registered any progress at your ends? So I'm just glad here to hear from you, each one of you, not only one person. Can we begin with Katopo?
Yes, Joseph, let me be the last because I need to first get on my laptop.
Okay.
I'm still
You're still
moving.
traveling,
Let
eh?
me be the last one.
Okay.
Hmm.
Can we hear from Mike? Okay, Mike.
Yes, Mr. Barikudenge.
Mm.
The teaching is okay, but being a practical topic, we need to practice and maybe have some live lectures. This keeping on online, it won't help us so much. We are trying to cope up with the lectures, but we need more practice and want to be with you physically. Thank you very much.
Okay. So Mr. Mike is suggesting the physical meetup. This is noted. Can I hear from David Silla? Yes, Israel. You are not saying anything. Your microphone is on.
No. Okay, so for the case of me, everything is okay. Maybe the only thing we just need to do some practice. That's the
So
only thing which you are supposed to do on my.
did you run the script last time? The script I shared?
That script I ran it, but right now the challenge I'm still traveling, but I ran it. So I'm just using my phone.
Okay, and it was running successfully.
Yeah, it was running successfully, but I'm still traveling.
Okay. So you're traveling. Are you traveling to NMC?
No, I'm traveling to NMTS.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
So at what time would you reach? Are you about to reach?
No, the challenge it depends because I'm in a taxi, so it depends. You know, those people they keep on stopping.
Some stopping and yeah. What about Mike? Can we hear from David Silla? How so far is the journey? How so far is the journey, Silla? And Dale, how so far is the journey?
It's okay, sir. Just more practice needed. That's what I can say. But it is so far okay. Your lectures, you are teaching us, you're helping us a lot. Thank you, sir.
I've not had anything there.
It's my microphone. Yes, good morning, colleagues. Sir, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yes, I was just saying I appreciate the lectures, the effort. More practice is needed, but so far, so good.
So did you run the script?
For last week,
Yes.
not yet, but I saw
Then,
it.
then you cannot say that all is so good.
No, at least I said for the effort which has been made. I appreciate the lectures, but at least I'll go back to check on it, sir.
Okay. So what are you going, you guys, what are you going to do the practicing? One person is suggesting us to have online classes, physical classes. Of course, we are planning about that. But the challenge is one, we have our routines. And the physical meetup would mean either people converging at NMTS, people converging at Luzila, one of those two places, but that means resources. And our plan was we do the things this way and we wrap it up with a workshop. But a workshop, for it to be effective, it will need some pre skills, which we are doing now. And I would advise if we can try to just make these classes serious, then the workshop, we shall enjoy it. Because if we go in a workshop around 60%, then we can get out of it when we are all 100%, when we can all get Python, edit scripts, write our own scripts, generate maps, generate graphs, such things. What of group work? NMTS, how many people can you work with? We have lost Israel, we no longer see him. So Mike, do you have people that you are working with or you are working alone?
Yes, I'm in Obadi's group. I will normally practice.
Okay. So did you try to consult him as far as this work is concerned? Actually, I'm not seeing him here.
He's always busy with students running up and down, so he has no time for practicing or for. Anyway, he's always busy.
Okay. So Kato, I think Kato is stationed at headquarters. He just goes to NMC for a few days. Is it true? Kato, is it true? Kato is getting to NMC now. We don't have Chisela. But let me try to share the script for today and so that we can pick a leaf in and there. So I'm hopeful we can see the script and I'll go through it. This script, I shared it on the WhatsApp, our WhatsApp page. And yes, we shall go step by step. What are you supposed to do when they send you a script? When you download the script, the first thing that you do, you open your Anaconda. And opening Anaconda, you don't open Anaconda prompt. You are going to open Anaconda Navigator. And when you open Anaconda Navigator, it is going to open your page, its home page into the browser. So if you are like me, I have a number of directories where I'm working from, and where I'm teaching from is called DMS tutorials. So I open it, and after opening it, I go to upload, and then I allocate the script after downloading it. Okay, And after locating it, then I'm going to select it and click on open. It is going to be automatically uploaded into my working environment. And once it opens, I'll come and left click on it twice. Okay, so here it has opened. And the first thing that I'm going to do is to read through the script and trying to run. So I am going to read through the first cell. So the first cell has 1, so it has imports. So in any scripts, the first cell will have the importation of the libraries. So you must have your libraries well set. In this case, import pandas as pandy, import nap as np, import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. From Skyline.decomposition, import PCA. That's also a library. From Skyline.class, import kmeans. And from sklearn.preprocessing, import standard scalar, and then import OS. So all these are libraries, and we don't have the same working environment. At times, we don't have those libraries installed. So what we need to do, we said, we can install these libraries in case we don't have them. But for my case, I set up my libraries, I set up my environment with this kind of libraries. So I'm going to click inside this cell, then I click on run. Okay, and once it displays these values here as per these print statements, it means I have successfully run the script. Okay, and I'm hopeful we shall be able, when we run the script, to read. So in the same script, I have this file path, and in this case, this file path is redirecting where my July decado is. So in this case, I have it on C, users, demo 20, GMS tutorials, pandas, and within the pandas library, that is where I have this Excel sheet. So if I go back, actually I would be able, it is within pandas is here. And then it is located there. That's why I'm able to get it. As you can see, GMS tutorials, then inside into pandas, okay, and ultimately to my combined decado for July 2025. So there we go. Is that clear? So what you need to do here is you click on run, then it is able to run. So the next task I had was to normalize the column names. So lowercase with underscores. In this case, I wrote a function. Who can remind us what a function is in Python programming? Who can remind us what a function is and what are the characteristics of a function? We looked at these things. What are the characteristics of a function? What should it have to say that's a function within Python programming? Who can tell us? Somebody who has been following. What characterizes a function? When you look at your code, you are able to tell that's a function. What is that one thing? What characterizes a function? Nobody is able to answer. You people, you have forgotten. We said n function begins with the df keyword. So wherever I see this, I know that's a function. And we say the function is another way. So function is another way, okay, through which you can write your statements and then you are able to reuse them. So function should have the def keywords, and it is preceded with the name of the function. So the name of this function is normalize / colons, and then in brackets, you give it its input, what it is going to eat. In this case, it is going to take a variable called df. But when we go back, we realize we shall get to understand what df is, okay? And we have, because it is taking this df, it is going to come and it copies this function. It is going to get this variable df and it passes it over to its own variable df by using the copy function. That is why we are saying dcopy. Dcopy is a function that's already existing within Python language. It's part of the Python language. And then we have div.columns, that in case my columns are strings, and then we are going to replace wherever there is ln, characters ln. So this is another way of cleaning our data. Data, most times it can have these characters. It has the ln, and this ln is very dangerous in computer programming because it will escape the characters. If you have a sentence and it encounters this ln, it will automatically push it to another line. And then another thing is, if it encounters the spaces, okay, it is going to replace them with spaces or with a dash for all columns. And then a function should also have a return value. In this case, it takes the df, it works on it, and it returns it. Okay? So when I say rainfall /df, normalize / columns, so I'm getting this function, which is defined up, and I'm passing my data using the variable name rainfall df. I think this is the data that is here, that was read from my Excel file. I also get the temperature values, normalize them using the df. And the temp df is a variable that is here. What we learn from here is that Python is a very powerful language that is making use of the object-oriented programming. In this case, we have normalized function defined, but we can use it more than one time, as we can see. So if we have other variables, in this case, we don't have to rewrite this, okay? So each variable is going to be passed into the normalized columns table. So it is going to clean it. After cleaning it, then it is going to return the cleaned version of your data. And what you realize from here, whatever changes that we are dealing with our data, we are not tampering with the Excel main file here. It is staying intact. Are we together? So now it detects the column from either data frame. Okay, so this statement is it is using the keyword sorted to convert our data in two columns, rows and in two columns. Is this line of code clear? So you have our columns read as day one, day one, day two, day three, day four, day five. It proceeds like that for both temperature and rainfall. So who can volunteer to explain to us this function, clean data series? Who can volunteer to take us through that function? That is, you can volunteer by telling us the function name, the variables it is taking, and what it is returning back to the user, which is its return value. Who can volunteer? Who can volunteer? I was seeing as if Benon was raising his hand. Who can volunteer? Who can volunteer? People, don't keep quiet. Those are not good manners. Who can volunteer? Who can volunteer to take us through function 40? Just unmute yourself if you can volunteer. Even if you are using the phone. The work shared is on the screen. It's me sharing.
Okay. Hello.
Yes, hello?
Yes, Joseph, thank you. When I look at function 40, when I look at cell 40, if I read the comment, it's to clean, it's a clean function where we shall find rainfall treated as TR, as a small trace, and then temperature will be treated as none. So when you define the function is defined by the DEF, and it's called the clean day series. The clean day series will focus on a trace, and it's going to assign wherever there is trace, it will assign 0.1. And remember, it will not look at it's not going to look at the temperatures because they have already been declared as none. Is that okay?
Yes, proceed.
So when I look at S is assigned as the series. The type is string, but that's all for the trace values. So when we run, we expect to find where we had trace in our data. We expect to find a 0.1, and then we don't expect to find any values where temperature is, we expect to find a none. So what you're going to get is data without the characters of trace. That's all I can say. Then when you look at it's giving a loop of if it's temperature, but this has already been treated as none, so I don't think I should look at it. And then what it is returning, it is returning numeric. That's all I can talk about it.
Okay, thank you. Colleagues, you'll find that in our way of working, I think, somewhere where rainfall is, the values cannot be traced from the rain gauge, you guys, you put TR. But when it gets to analyzing series data, it will not accept the trace, it will only accept numerical values. And what this function is doing, it is going to go into our data, and it is going to find wherever there is a TR, then it is going to replace it with a 0, 1. And is step equals to false means it is only going to do it for rainfall values. So can somebody go to cell theory and can guide us on how we are implementing the function here? Okay, and as we can see, is temp false, that means it is rainfall. Then is temp equals to true, that means we are dealing with temperature values. And we are passing in, we are making use of this function, clean the series, which is here. So who can take us through this theory? We are cleaning up our data set. Makumbi, can you take us through this implementation? And we are making use of the for loop. And you can begin by telling us, why do we have for C in the columns? Where are we getting the columns here? Obadiah, are you there? Or any other volunteer? Why do we have it as here? Why do we say for C in? And we are using this member function in. This is something that will keep on replicating. Who can allocate for us? Where is this variable table columns? Where is it? Dale, are you in a condition to take us through?
Hello, please.
Yes, Obadiah. Obadiah, the floor is yours. Are you taking us through code 3? After writing our function in code 40, we are making use of the function in cell 3. And Obadiah is going to take us through that cell 3.
Yes, Mr. Warikudembe.
Yes, please.
Yeah, this is Makumbi Obadiah. I've been following, but I had some challenge with my gadget. I'm trying to make it normal so that I can be able to do some submissions. maybe meanwhile someone else can volunteer as a work on it as the group. And I don't know whether the presentations are done because I've just joined. I don't know whether the other previous presentations have been done so that you can know how to prepare.
Is your team ready to present?
When we are done with what we are trying to make ends meet to add up with, we are ready to present. But I was inquiring whether they are already been done.
No, other teams have not yet presented. We are just going through the script, and so that I get to understand whether we are whether we are familiar with it. So okay, so you can proceed to follow that.
We are following up.
We're following up, but when the time comes after finishing, then and you're ready for presentation, that would be a good thing. All right.
All right.
Can we hear from David? Are you there, David Chisila? Can you take us through this cell theory? Cell theory has most of the functions that we have been using. I'm seeing it has the for loop function, okay? The for keyword, it has the in member function, and it is an interesting thing. And then it is also implementing the clean the series function that we have just declared up. So my question is, who can add a word, who can add a story on this script by telling us what it does on our already existing data sets? And I was asking David Chisila whether you are there. And if David is not there, is Deo there? And if all those guys are not there, who can volunteer? Is Israel still on the forum? Are you still on Israel? Israel, are you still on? So nobody can volunteer to take us through cell 3. Cell 3 is an interesting one. Colleagues, this cell, the scripts that we are looking on are things that we are going to use in our operations. We have not been analyzing our decaders, and we have just been keeping them in files, keeping data on their sheets, and yet we can come up with products that we can give out to our customers. And I've been taking through these things. We looked at the for function, the for loop function. We looked at the in member functions. And we are able, when you are given a script like this, we are able to look at it and tell, wow, this is a function, it does this and the other. And this is a line of code that is implementing a function. Those are the things that I want to hear. Who can volunteer? Don't keep quiet, please. Don't keep quiet. Who can volunteer? Do we have a list here? I want somebody to identify this is a for loop, this is an in member, This is the if statement. This is what it is doing. Here the len is doing this. Here is the return function, such things. Who can volunteer? Mike, can you volunteer? Who can volunteer? No one. So we have, when we say for C, C can be anything, okay? C is not declared anywhere, so this C, it can be anything. And we are using the member operator in, meaning if any value assigned to C is a member of the rainfall.columns. Rainfall is data that we already have here. Is our normalized columns data. Data we have replaced, and we are saying we are only interested in the column names. So when we say columns DFC equals, so we are going to get this and assign it to the clean data sets that is belonging to. So we are going to pick the columns, okay? Remember the columns has day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5 up to day 31. So here it is going to come and say day 31, but in this case it is calling us rain depth C equals to clean data series, which is our function up, and its function was to get the data and remove the traces. So it is going to get the data within that column. The trace value that is going to give it is a 0.1, okay? And it will only stop at for only rainfall values. So if C in temp depth columns, in this case, if we check in the sheet for temperature, we do the same, we keep that day, we clean up the data sets, okay? And the temperature equals to 2. So in this case, we have recompute totals for rainfall if the column is present. That in case we are able to read, okay, if len, the length of the list here, if it is greater than 0, that's what it means. And inside you have C for C in the columns, if C in rainfall columns. So rain day columns equals to this. So in short, what it is doing, it is replicating up here, and here it is doing further analysis, so that at the end of the day, we have the clean data sets, okay? And this is what this line is doing. And when it gets to here, it is using its def keyword to define a function and passing it over these values. Among them is the column options, and then it takes our def value. So, and here we are replicating, we are implementing this. So first existing, okay? So it is getting this data from the Excel sheet back into the columns. Who can take us through cell 5? Using the same words, that this is the function name, the function it is taking it this, then it is returning this back to the user that is calling it. Who can take us through cell 5? Who can take us through cell 5? Who can volunteer? Let's not keep quiet. Yes, who can take us through cell 3? This is something that you are going to run and you are proud of it. Why? It's making use of the data sets that we have. Who can take us through cell 44? Have I gone through cell 44? Yes, I have. Cell 46. Cell 48. So you have some beautiful functions. So tell us, somebody can tell us, does this make sense to you or it looks complicated? And as I said, you don't have to cram. Don't try, please, to cram these codes because you will not manage. Just learn how to use it. Just understand it. Next time that you want to use this, if you can understand it, you will just pass your data to it, then it does the analysis for you. That is the beautiful thing. So who can take us through cell 46? What it is doing? Who can tell us through cell 46? What is it doing? It is making use of a function, file exists. And the return value I can see is the column options. That is why it is returning station, long, equals to latitude, region, zone, district, such things. So any questions as far as this is concerned? I've labored to explain this many and many times. Tried to explain this as many times as I would. And I believe you people, you are able to run up here. So any questions? We are on cell 46. My question was, who can take us through cell 46? Who can volunteer? Colleagues, who can take us through cell 46? I'm waiting for your response. Israel, are you on? Israel, are you on? Nobody can volunteer? Annette, are you able to volunteer? I need a volunteer to take us through cell 46. And there is no way we can proceed unless someone comes to our rescue. And who's that one? Who can rescue us by taking us through code 46? Who doesn't know anything about that cell? Who doesn't know anything? Who? And who thinks that he can make a sentence out of it? Yes, I'm waiting for you. Can take us through that line of code. Nobody? So as we can see, so the station columns, because when I was working with this data, it had several names. So the purpose of that function is to standardize which conical names we want to use in our wrong table. I was just trying to make things clear. So if the start column, find if it exists. Okay, and I'm giving names. I just gave options like station ID, station number, station name, if we get such names in our data set, okay? So if any of these is existing, if we say death dot columns, then we take that value. in this case, one of my options has to exist within my given values. So in this case, the function takes the list of column options. It also takes the list of rainfall values. And in case the station name exists, then that is what it is going to return at C. That is what that code is doing. And what it is able to print, those are the findings that it was able to find using this print line. So who can take us through cell 48? Who can take us through cell 50? What we are doing in all these functions is cleaning. We are trying as much as we can to look at those build scenarios to clean our rainfall and temperature values the way they have been given to us in the Excel sheet. Okay. As you can see, this function is making use of other functions that are already declared up. And in this cell, I think it is going to be 51. So it is doing the same, getting the station values, standardizing them, okay? And ultimately, the temperature log, it is equal to temperature log dot melt. So what we are doing is trying to clean our data sets. And in this cell 7, we are still into cleaning this data and make it more clear. So standardize station column name to station in both long frame for easy merger and analysis. So we have that function, if station column, not station. So it is going to proceed with that, else. So I need you to pay attention on how the if statement is being used. These full columns are being put, and how this else is extending to F, because that's a function that is calling it. And this one ensures that the way the station name is given from the user, it should be equivalent to one that exists in the Excel sheet for it to proceed. And in this case, if lone lat exists, that if we have these within our data sets, then we have to name them into the standard size, which is the longitude and the latitude. And in this case, this line of code ensures that if the column name is one of the longitude latitude, so it is going to take the column name and then it is going to return none if nothing exists. And lastly, we have the column names being read. So when we check cell 8, so now we are converting the data into columns. So we have the station and the day number. And if both have latitude strong, longitude stop latitude, include them to be a striker. So if longitude in rainfall long.columns and longitude in temperature column, so we have merger. So we are imaging this data depending on the columns, on the longitudes. If they are the same, then the data is going to be together. So is the next line, if latitude in rainfall and columns and latitudes in temperature long. So it is either going to return merger plus latitude, then it proceeds. So ultimately we have merged, we have the station, we have the day number, we have the longitude, and then we have the latitude. So another one is a function that is part of the pandas, that is PD range, and it is taking the long range, the temp range, on merger and on how to layers. Okay, and here we are able to get the, when we say print daily, the header, here it is going to get you the headers, the way we can see it. And somewhere here, daily rows, length daily. So this is going to return to us the number of rows within this record. And this is what we have. Let me hope this explanation makes some sense. You are making some sense out of it. So is this station 10. All what we are doing is cleaning the data. So here we are trying to demonstrate our work on an histogram. So after this, so we are trying to plot histogram of total rainfall per station. And the figure is plot figure. The figure size is 8:4. And what we are taking in is total rainfall in millimeters. And then histogram. We are taking the total July rainfall per station. The X label, what is going to be on the X-axis, are station rainfall. And on the Y-axis is the number of stations. So X plot of daily rainfall across all station days. So basically, that is what we have. So your task that I want you to do is to go back and make sure that the way these stations have been indexed is right. And this is the correct way of interpreting these graphs. And in case you are not sufficient with the graphs, then you can see how to improve on it. And down you have the box plot distribution of daily rainfall in stations. Still, the box plot is a common data visualization tool in Excel. I want also to familiarize ourselves with it. And maybe in the next class, somebody will volunteer to give us the methodological interpretation of these graphs. They weigh any value as far as our 6 hourly, daily, and season rainfall are concerned. So in the next graph, we are trying to play around with the time series for 3. So we want a script that will enable us compute and find out, given our decade for July, which one was the station, which one was the wettest month as far as our decadal data is concerned. This is data from our stations colleagues. And it all begins if total rainfall M, I think that is a variable that is already declared up. in station statics column and station statics column total rainfall, not any. So it is trying to pick the index from the Excel sheet and passing them over the values in a sorted manner, but it is using descending order. And we are able to print the first 3 stations by total rainfall. So the figure for the graph, it doesn't change so much. For ID in top 3, that means ID can be anything when it is being called. So the sub equals to daily station, sort values, the number. PLT example, X label, that is the day of July. PLT label, that is rainfall MM. PLT title, daily rainfall, top wettest stations. And as we can see down, we are able to plot out this graph. So we have the first graph, which is the daily 3 top wettest stations. And then this is the first one. The second one, it shows you the cumulative rainfall, which is this. And lastly, we have the pie chart, which shows us the totals, the others, the pie labels, the PLT figures. The code for writing graphs, it doesn't change. So I want person to labor explain for us this graph and whether it is correct. It was the true observations for the month of July 2025. Can someone volunteer to come in and take us through that graph? Now, this is your area of expertise. Who can labor to explain the graph? No one? Who can labor explain what the graph is doing? The first one that has the top 3 wettest stations. And don't you think this kind of important is relevant to our stakeholders? Colleagues, who can volunteer? Who can volunteer? Who can volunteer? You can let me know in the chat. Who can volunteer to take us through what that graph is doing? Who can volunteer? Annette Katereka, are you able to tell us whether that information is true or false? can volunteer? Who can volunteer? Nobody? Who can volunteer? Okay, you can type in the chat. Some people are scared to write anything, to say anything. Let me post in the chat. So can we provide answers? You can do it in the chat. Is that analysis true for the month of July? So we have this graph where we have Mubende on top. It was one of the wettest. So I want you to verify those statements, followed by Masindi and Chinyara. So as we can see, Mubende had more rainfall, around 3 attempts on top of the rest of the stations. And then and the rainfall was taking an increasing trend. As you can see here, we have cumulative rainfall. By the time the month began, figures were low, but they continued improving till the end of the month. And here is the bar chart that shows you the distribution, the contribution to total rainfall for the month of July. And in this case, it is singling out Mubende, Masindi, and Chinyara as Ugandan stations that contributed much the rainfall data as far as July was concerned. Any questions? Shall we be able to run these codes and we attach value to it? Please say something. Shall we be able to do that? So in this cell, we further do we try to seek some bit of correlation, whether these data sets from different stations are related to one another in each way. And that's how the code goes. And ultimately, we have this kind of output. And I'm not going to say much as far as this output is concerned, because at this time we have Y on one axis and X on the other axis. And the scale is ranging from 1 down to 0.6. And the yellow means a perfect correlation. And as you slow down, it goes to 0, it means a weak one. So we need to see which one is dominating our graph. We have yellow, it's dominating the graph. And this is followed by light green. So there is a lot of information that we can learn from these data sets before pushing ourselves into things that we don't understand. Any questions as far as today's work is concerned? Obadiah, is your group ready to present? So Mike, you have worked in data for some time, also forecasting for some time. As we summarize, what is your take as far as this kind of analysis is concerned? We need to hear from you people. Does it make sense? Would you wish to run this script in your work? We need to hear from you people. And which one have you ever used in your research? I want to hear from you people. Don't keep quiet to this long. Yes, I'm So can I hear from you people? Can I hear from you people? What is your take on this kind of analysis? Annette, senior people here, don't keep quiet. Whenever I keep quiet, we lose the energies. Does it make sense? What else can we look at as far as our Decato data is concerned? Hmm? So, as we can see, somebody is telling us Mvende is indeed very hot. As far as this, let me get for her. Do you have data for, that was rainfall? Don't have what about for rainfall for July? So among us, who will volunteer now to have the same kind of analysis for August? Because we have only looked for July. I want somebody to volunteer that next time he's going to come and present to us results for August. The Decado for August is there. Who can volunteer? Who will volunteer among us to run and get us results for August? Who will volunteer? Who will volunteer among ourselves? Who will volunteer among ourselves? People? No one is willing to volunteer that on Thursday is going to make analysis for August. Has any of you tried for August? Who's willing to volunteer to do the same analysis for August? Nobody? Who will volunteer? People who will volunteer? Who will volunteer? We're making the class too boredom. Eh? Who will labor to volunteer to do for us analysis for August? Mike, will you? Who will volunteer to do for us analysis for August? Is Mabel on this forum? Najima Mabel. Najima, are you on? I need somebody to guide us where we can get the August decade. I understand we are in September. It should be there. It was not shared on the email. Is Mabel here? Najima Mabel? So Makumbi, are you ready with your presentation? Makumbi Obadia, is your presentation ready? As people think how they are going to do for August, I need some group to volunteer. Everybody is quiet. Eh? Everybody is quiet. So, all right, since you don't have anything to add on, let's begin from there. Next Thursday, I urge you to practice as we'll reconsider having the physical sessions. But we are planning the physical session will be a 5-day workshop, hands-on training workshop. But we shall only select the serious people who have been attending, but have also attempted quizzes. So attempting quiz is very important. Also participating in the class discussion is also very important. So I'm going to share this recording for this class so that we can review for our better understanding. So in case you don't have any questions, in case you don't have any further concerns, Obadi, I have something to say.
Yes, Mr. Kudembe, I have something to say.
But I keep on speaking and nobody responds.
I've just come, I'm sorry. We had issues with the interpolators, with some staff who are coming to do their fingerprint. And I was called and they also told me to go to help them so that they can be able to handle to do the exercise of fingerprints. I've just come back. I'm sorry for going off. I wasn't on the program. I was not following it, but I've just come back. And my colleagues have been telling me that you were calling me, but I couldn't respond because I had gone down at Interpol office. But I promise maybe the next session, if you can provide the time for us, we should start with presenting what you have prepared for long, because it is now already prepared, just that challenge has been time to present it. It's a kind apology which I'm submitting to you, and I kindly request you to grant to welcome it, sir.
Okay, so our concern was, can we proceed to August? Can we proceed so that on Thursday we have a group that is ready with the analysis for August? We progress to August. In my class, I've based it on July. Can we look around for the decade for August? So that we are looking at something that is more recent.
Okay.
So can we replicate this code into August? And a few things that you need to change here. Let me show you a few things you need to change.
With the joining efforts and knowledge we can do, we shall combine our knowledge and efforts and do the needful for that August Decado program.
It is something very easy. Let me show you.
Yeah.
You just have to come here and change the final path. Just from here, just copy this final path to where your August is. And then you run, the rest is going to be the same.
Okay.
Okay.
In other words, there is a red code in Namulindo Harriet had got challenges of making a fingerprint, but we promise to do the best for next time, Mr. Rikudembe.
Okay. I would like to hear us progressing because I want you guys to add the meteorological knowledge on this kind of output. You also tell us how do they fit into our operations. Which further analysis do we need to add on? Because after this training, we are not looking like we continue keeping these data the way they are. Can we interpret them and we display them on screens in our offices? Can we give them to our clients like this graph? It is able, like this graph, we are able to learn that the wettest station for July was Mubende, that it is the station that maybe received a lot of rainfall. compared, followed by Masindi and Chinyara. You are a meteorologist. Did you have that kind of information? We don't. Reason being, we keep the data in their raw form.
In hard copy.
In the hard copy. And we are looking at, can we replicate these tools? Now, we are saying not about August. Okay? As we keep at as we trace the behavior of, we are into the sond season. This is sond, September, October, November.
October, November, December.
How was August? What about September? How is it behaving? How are these stations behaving? Has the season set off for each of the stations, or some stations are still receiving the dry spells? Chisira David, this is your area. You are into station networks. Which other thing do we need to analyze together here? We are not looking at doing these classes just for the sake of getting the knowledge, but how do we have it in our operation?
Day-to-day work.
This has been the management outcry. How do we have these things into our operations? Even us, we cannot continue just keeping the data. And somebody comes, we cannot answer any questions pertaining the current weather. How is the season behaving according to the Decado information? How do we relate this to state-light data sets? There is no way I can proceed from here to station data sets when I'm not sure that you people have grasped some skills. So it is very important during these classes to have them interactive. Okay, and these things are easy because we are going through these scripts. If you can read and understand the script, it is more important than anything else. If you can read and understand the script. Are we together?
Yes, we are together, sir.
Colleagues, any other? Yeah, that's it. Any other question before we end today's class? Annette Nachimbukwe, will you try August? You can see it, you have neighbors there, you have Zake Joseph, you have Nakajiri Shalom, you are there, you have Mabel. You can sit and analyze the data for August. And then you let me know which other analysis. Can you also do this? I'll write codes and share with you. And then you come and share with the rest of the colleagues. All right, colleagues, in case you don't have any other question, I beg to end this class here. Have a good day.
Good day too. Kalu tajja busera. Oli ebemufumbye.